Hi guys, welcome to the Lykeminded podcast. I'm Winnie. Today we're doing episode 12, and it's going to be a special episode because we're celebrating Wyn Group's 1-year anniversary in business. So as you can see, we're in a new setting. We're actually at East Street Crossing in Minneapolis. But today we're going to be doing a Q&A styled podcast with the team to talk about their first year so far.
So a challenge for me that I feel like I faced was, like any startup, you don't really have as much resources, but the beautiful thing behind that is that now you're learning everything from A to Z. You're learning with everyone from A to Z. And, with a smaller team and whatnot, it actually brings in more hands into the game. So, in essence, it kind of brings the bond together. So it's not really a challenge, per se, but I would want to say that Stas is messing me up. Stas in the background messing me up.
I think the biggest challenge was putting on multiple hats at the same time. Definitely getting accustomed to getting everything running properly, still trying to represent your clients to the fullest of your capability, but at the same time making sure that we're helping Stas and Marshall build the company on the back end because they can't both do it alone. So I think kind of having that split focus was also a challenge, but we did learn a lot from it on the back end, and we did kind of understand how the brokerage works a bit more rather than being just agents on the front end, kind of doing both back end front work as well, just to help take off pressure from everybody's shoulders. And working with Ozzy. That was stressful.
I agree, but I'd like to say that the beautiful thing about this, which doesn't really make it as challenging, is that we've all worked together. We've all known each other for quite some time already, so it in a sense, smoothened things out.
Well, I'd like to add losing my hairline was also a challenge in the first year.
I would say being able to unlearn many things and coming in as a student. I think the philosophy, for me at least, it's being, I'm always going to be a student at the end of the day. And when you have a company that has tremendous growth in a short amount of time, your mindset kind of shifts over to, okay, how, with these new challenges, the new properties we buy, new business we open, as they say, for every new level, there's a new devil. So those are challenges that we had to overcome, working with other people, finding out what their needs are, being able to cater to those needs, and being able to hopefully predict what's going to happen in the next couple of years based on the information that we know as a company, the team, and the advisors that we have around us to make the best decisions, and hopefully we're able to do that.
Yeah, I'd say the biggest challenge so far has been, when Wyn Group was just a discussion at first, right? It was, let's build $1 billion company in 10 years and do it in 5. So it's been time management on all of the back end stuff that, nobody sees. All of the documents, all the paperwork, all the spreadsheets, all of that stuff has been time consuming and unrealized on how much that actually takes. And then it's also too, it's different personalities working with each other in the beginning, right? It's like the beginning of any relationship, to where you're with somebody 12, 14 hours a day now, and it's learning everyone's styles and habits and everything else when it comes to how they do things, how they don't do things, what works, what doesn't work. So, but it's been great, challenging, but it's also been a lot of fun as well.
I'd say one of the proudest moments, I think we've had a lot of proud moments, was taking on Burnsville and moving our office there and kind of just taking the project by the horns because obviously our other partners aren't here in Minnesota. So taking that responsibility and getting familiar with a lot of city officials of Burnsville. To me, that's what I feel like is one of our proudest moments.
I think for me, it's not a personal proud moment, but it's as a collective. Is that hearing the story behind, with Stas and Marshall, the timeline, and just the progress from making Wyn Group a thought to actually getting it executed, and the fact that we were able to help get that up and running with them. I think to me it's a proud moment where we were able to help two individuals get their dream up and running and help them achieve their goals. So for me, that was I felt proud in being a part of that process, just because I know for a fact that in the long run it's going to pay back tenfold to all of us individually. And as in the sense of being a younger brother to the both of them, I just felt proud helping out my two older brothers help achieve their dream. So to me, that's the proud moment.
Aww. So such an exquisite
You got a problem
answer.
with that? You got
Such
a problem with that?
Exquisite answer. It's so immaculate.
Thank you. And I didn't prepare for that.
As a team, I would say, with our small team right now that we have, it's the collaborations, the everyone helping out and doing stuff whenever things need to happen. And then also, it's been just how well everyone essentially jives together and just gets stuff done and focuses on the deals. And not just the deals, but the high-level white glove service representation, not just for our projects, but for our clients as well. And just seeing everybody grow as well, and just the 1 year on how much better we've gotten as a whole. And then also watching all of our marketing stuff grow. I mean, that's been amazing. We have the best CMO influencer of the century that we're lucky enough to have a part of our team as well. That's been, I don't know what the word is. Trying to use a fancy word, but it's been detrimental to our brand and our business in helping us grow.
Absolutely. And I think as a team, I would say, we're in growing pains at times, right? But
For sure.
What's amazing is that when we have disagreements or whatever, we all acknowledge it, and then we grow together, because it's never perfect. But being able to overcome challenges together and continue to flourish, I think that's been very, I've been very thankful with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like any relationship, right? We're always going to have problems.
Right.
But as long as we fix them and get better at the end, that's all that matters.
Nando's.
Jollibee.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows. I would love to bring Nando's here. I would love it. I love Nando's.
I mean, my story with Jollibee is a little bit more personal, I guess. The first Jollibee that opened up in the U.S. was in 1998 in Daly City, California. I was there for the grand opening. That's when I was still living there. So to bring one here to Minnesota, I would definitely fight to be in that project. If I wasn't already a part of it, I'd try and find a way to be some sort of resource to it. Because to me, it would be like going back full circle. It's like, wow, I was there for the grand opening for the very first one in the U.S., and now I'm here for the grand opening for the very first one in Minnesota.
I actually thought about this a lot because of traveling to different countries. Building a city within a city, I think that would be really cool. I think that's like a legacy project that you start now and then it's done when you're like 60. But I think those is fun. It's great because you're building something for the future. And different countries are doing that. I'm particularly from Vietnam, so it's a growing market there, and there are incredible developers there that they're building little cities within a city, which is, I think, is incredible. And those are those type of projects that I'm actually very excited about. And also seeing transformations, being able to transform a regional mall and turn that into mixed use, and finishing off the project, and, so those are some of my dream projects. So.
For me, my dream as a kid, coming to America, we stopped in New York City, and I saw the towers that are all over Manhattan, and I'm like, one of these days I want to own one of these things. So once the office market maybe comes back, it's time to buy one of those towers in New York.
Yeah.
Or maybe Chicago because it's closer. But that's kind of it. And then just doing stuff that is outside of the box, that's
pun intended,
creative, that's getting us into more of thinking outside the box that hasn't happened yet. Like we're doing with the mall, like we're doing with other stuff, other projects as well. It's what do people want that has not happened yet, and making that come to fruition.
Right. And it's hard. There's a lot of challenges that we face every day, and
there is.
As you can see, I have a lot of gray hair now.
I mean, I've always been like a competitive person, and I'm not saying that I'm competing against any of my colleagues, but like when I see success in the room, it keeps me, on my toes and keeps me going and shows me like what exactly I could be capable of doing. Like I see Stas waking up every single. I don't see him waking up, but the guy, we text each other like almost every morning saying, "Hey, wake up, go to the gym." Even if sometimes I fall through with it, it keeps me going. And then I see Jay's always on the hustle, always looking for properties, always trying to do business, especially on the network marketing tip.
I think for me, how do I stay motivated is, yes, it is what Ozzy touched on. Seeing everybody succeed around you definitely gives you that little that you need to keep it going. But for me, it's more so on a personal level. Is why did you move to the U.S. if you just want to be average? You should have stayed back home. It's as simple as that. And just seeing everybody from my older cousins, my family, my dad, grandpa, seeing everything they've done, hearing what they're doing and whatnot, it just, I know that I have a lot more to offer and a lot more to give. So, and I know that there's talent, and if I don't act on that and push on that, then it's talent wasted and time wasted and money down the drain over the course of years to get here. So I think that's what keeps me motivated, is to not, to be like them and better and not average.
Have more kids. It's actually a motivation when you do have kids and you have a family now. But I think for me, it's always been, we have a lot of people relying on us. That's their livelihood, and I don't take that lightly. So anybody that works for us, that works with us, that's what makes me motivated. Being able to essentially taking care of other people, and I think by default as a leader, that's what you need to do, and that's what you should do. Before you even make a decision in opening a business, because you become a leader by default, right? So that's what makes me motivated. But I think also having a passion for what we do. The commercial real estate industry is fun, especially when money comes in and things are going well. But when things are not going well, that's the question is, how do you still become motivated, become inspired? And I think for me, it's being able to be mindful and understand that it's a privilege and an honor to be in this position where you can help other people and ensure that that they're going to have a great life, whether it's your family or people that work with you and also for you.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that the motivation comes from, how do I put this? There's that, I forgot who said it, but there's a saying that says leaders eat last, which is always the case, right? The owners of the company are always the last ones to get a check, right? So it's been motivating to give opportunities and give leads and business to everyone at the company to ensure that they're eating, essentially, right? Getting deals done, getting paychecks, things along those sorts to keep Marshall and I motivated to see the growth in the company in that sense. Because the more successful everyone else is around us, the more successful we become, right? Mm. So that's motivating, and it's also, you have to love what you do. And it's always been, my case to where I love real estate, every aspect of it. And it gets me out of bed at early hours every day because it's always something new, something challenging, something exciting every single day, from the clients to our own stuff to everything else. So although it's very challenging, but it's the motivation of, can we do it? And then when you get it done, it's like, what else can we do now?
That's like a kind of a hard question, because I feel like every deal that comes our way is something to be excited about, especially in this economy. There are a lot of brokers, realtors that are somewhat questioning, their profession right now, where with us, it's like constantly getting deals done and constantly picking up on leads and whatnot. I think that's something to be excited about, but that's just me.
I think I'm more so excited about the Middle Eastern franchises that I'm helping, because it's I think the tide is turning into that direction and really being at the forefront of all these businesses expanding, like Camaria, Melt and Dip, Juice Time. They're based in the Middle East, multiple locations here. They're expanding to Minnesota, and then Jebel Coffee House, also a Middle Eastern coffee shop founded in Dearborn. So they're also looking to move here, and we've been working on multiple sites and multiple locations. So I think just being there right now at this time is still early, but I'm excited about all these stuff just because I'm able to develop a relationship with all the decision makers, and at the same time establish my name in the industry as the go-to person for this specific niche. And as you know, niches get the riches. So that's what I'm excited for.
It's always the next one. You're only as good as your last deal, and it's always the next project, because every project that we do, we put in 110% effort into, and that's what we'll continue to do moving forward, because every project, every property, every business, and every client rep that we do, that is, the most exciting thing at the time.
Mm-hmm. Correct. And they say, you're as best as your last project, right? So as big as these projects are, and when we're still building, stabilizing the malls, stabilizing the assets, and it's getting better and better each time. And that's what makes me much more excited about, so.
Yeah, it's a learning curve. Mm-hmm. Figure out what works and just duplicate that.
And I think what we have right now, all the stuff we've been doing is priceless. You can't buy it. You can't buy this type of experience. Okay. So it's,
the stress.
Yeah, like the stress and
comes free.
Being able to identify, know how to strategically plan, do deals, and all that stuff. So yeah.
It was on our trip to what's it called, to California. And we went to the Aria event out there. It was me, Stas, and Ozzy. We were all sleeping in the same area, which happened to be a garage that they converted into a 3-bedroom room. And so I'm sitting there, I'm minding my business, and I tell Stas and Ozzy, I'm like, guys, I think my bed is broken. And Stas is like, Jay, no, nothing's wrong with it. Just go to bed. I'm like, all right, cool. 3 hours later, I'm still slightly awake, and all I hear is Ozzy's bed just snap in half. Dude is just hanging in there for dear life. I get up, I'm like, are you good, bro? He goes, I think the bed broke on me. And then we look at Stas, and were you awake, or were you asleep at that time? So yeah, Stas woke up to that sound. Ozzy was just hanging, feet in the air, hands in the air, and just looking at the ceiling in confusion because he had woken up from that. I think that was one of the funnier moments we've had. Another bunch of funny moments just looking at Marshall dancing by himself on the Arlo cameras. Just seeing him break dance for no reason. What else you got? It was a discovery of China Slim Tea that will forever be memorable. Forever. let me just say, if you're having a bad day, a good day, an under the weather day, China Slim Tea will make your day feel better. I'm going to just leave it at that. You can find it at your local Asian grocery store. Make sure to drink it at night on a Friday. I actually spoke about this on my last podcast. I think it's how dynamic we are and how quickly we're able to adapt to the changing trends, not only in the marketplace but also on social media, because we have an amazing CMO who tells us, guys, the trends are 1, 2, 3. Somebody has to get water thrown in their face, and we do it because we know it's going to yield a good return on social media and it's going to put our brand out there. And I think we're really doing a good job on capitalizing on social media, which other firms aren't doing, not because they can't do it, but just because they don't have the flexibility that we have at this point in time. And the fact that we're young and driven, and I think there's a discipline is emphasized on more than people think. So that's just what I say.
I would say, especially in retail, as retailers is changing. Traditional shopping is changing. So I think the trend is still the experiential type of uses, the family entertainment, the sustainable safari, like the baby animal zoo, going to these malls and in the retail space. But one thing I've noticed too is that local businesses have been really strong since COVID. Versus big national companies, and I think for every situation, there's always the pros and cons and which industries will continue to thrive. But people are looking at office space. How do you do conversions into office, from office to like mixed use? So that might be the trend. I don't know. I haven't seen a successful project or that's launched or been complete since COVID. So I guess time will tell. And if we're able to create, I think, great experiences for people especially in the office space or retail, I think that's going to really propel the commercial real estate trends in different asset class.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the trends that we're seeing right now is, for brick and mortar stores, it's smaller footprints, less locations in one area. We can look at Abercrombie and Fitch when they had multiple locations across every state in the country, and then they shrunk that footprint down when they went through their bankruptcy deals or whatever they went through. Now they have 1 or 2 stores in the best areas and the best malls in each state, but that grows their e-commerce business significantly because people still want to come in, touch, feel, try on, but then they can go online as well and order that as well. Right. So brick and mortar isn't going away anywhere because people still want to see products, try them on, feel them before they order them. Because I don't know if I'm the only one, but it is a pain in the butt to return stuff. Mm-hmm. Right? It's time consuming, it's whatever else, but it's also, deal wise, talking to, our big banks that we work with and local banks that we work with as well, it's in some asset classes like apartments, there was a lot of hype during COVID, right? So they overbuilt. And a lot of these guys are now struggling and they can't get out of their construction loan financing into regular financing. And so I think the apartment slowdown and default is here. Office buildings, it's dependent. If you're an office building in the downtown areas, you're suffering. Mm-hmm. But if you're an office building in the metros and the suburbs, you're thriving right now because everyone moved out and went to the suburbs because it's closer to people's homes, it's less of a footprint, things like that. Because you can't, we're all in the office every single day, right? Because it creates collaboration. We're close to each other. It's not the same as being on a Zoom call every single day, mm-hmm. right? So I don't think that's going away. And then, like Marshall said, new entertainment and experimental retail uses are going to continue to thrive because people want the next best thing right now. So,
tenant rep is always going to be strong. I feel like there's always like a transition in business where people are now ready to start their business and get going or either expand. So it's not necessarily a trend to me. It's always going to be like a strong point in commercial real estate is tenant representation. and going with it.
If we're looking at business trends overall, I'd say people are going smaller. People are trying to get more lean so they can adapt quicker and just change quicker. That's why I don't see any of my clients that want anything bigger than 2,000 square feet. I mean, me and Ozzy have a client. He does wonders in his space, even though it's big, and he knows that he can replicate it anywhere and he can probably make the same amount. But to him, it's, I don't need more space, I need less, I need more automation. So I think that's the trend we're seeing people go towards. It's not even AI or any of that stuff. It's just cutting down labor, making things automated where you don't need to rely on somebody to get the job done. And that way you go smaller, but you grow, I'd say quicker, because you manage less with what you have. It's the same thing, but you manage it. You have less to manage. So I think that's the trend, what I'm seeing on what we focus on in our day-to-day work. I think growing our names individually as brokers, reaching out to more businesses to help represent and meet and network with. And I think by doing that, you help the image and brand of the company overall, because Wyn Group is composed of us 5, and I think just working on your self-image and on your reputation, putting yourself out there in a good way, will inevitably help grow the brand overall. And just focusing on myself, discipline, mental health, physical health, and just being a good friend, brother, and husband to everybody around me. So that's what I'm really excited for in the next year. Everything else will just follow.
To everyone around you. Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Ozzy?
You get my point.
I do get your point. It's pretty much everything Jay said, except for the being a good husband to everyone around him.
He is single.
No, but yeah, it's just, I think, when we measure our success, we always want to be better than who we were, the day before or even months beforehand, right? So we always want to keep on growing no matter what. We're always a student no matter what. So it's to continuously educate ourselves, continuously educate myself, and to grow as like a better person, not just in business, but as just a human being. So that's what I'm excited about. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I think as a company, bridging the gap of future real estate investors from Asia to America. We have the opportunity to actually go back to Vietnam the end of this month, September. So for a business trip, it's a commercial real estate investment and also a business conference where we are the delegates, where we're representing America. And it's so cool to do this because now you become a resource for people in a different country to invest into America. And I've always been excited about that, and it's really nice that it's actually coming into fruition. And that's what I'm excited about. But what's being built and what's going to flourish from that is going to be insane. For people here with the projects we work with, the clients, the partners that we currently have here in the U.S., it's now you're able to become more resourceful, right? So versus just what you have now, if that makes sense. So being a person of a lot of resources.
Right. I think the biggest thing for me is, and the company together, kind of mash into one, is more collaborations. To where, right, we're not competing with people, we're not competing with their partners, with their clients, we're collaborating with them. And we've done a very good job of doing that, and I want to continue growing that. Because a lot of things get done better through collaborations and competition. And then just seeing everyone's growth, right? Not just Wyn Group as a company, but people's personal growth from fitness to health to skills to all that stuff encompassed into one. Just so we can be essentially the best we can be. Mm-hmm. And then just keep growing on that and getting better.
The most rewarding, I would say, building other people up within the company, because one thing of our philosophy here is people over profits and trust over gains, and I think being able to see each individual grow within a year has been fantastic. It's been tremendous, because that's where our success is, right? Because if they're doing well, we're doing well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's been the learning lessons of everyone's motivations and personalities and everything else, and then figuring out how to take those and build them up so we get better as a company and each individual get better as an individual as well. It's, like anything, it's been challenging at times, but, it's challenges make you better and stronger at the end. Mm-hmm. And everyone goes through challenges, right? But it's just getting through those so you're come out better on the other side.
Right. And I'll, just kind of put on, just add on top of that too, is that everything we've envisioned that we wanted to accomplish, I think we did a lot within 1 year. So it was really nice to see that coming into fruition.
Right. Yeah, we just actually talked about that the other day. Mm-hmm. How we did a lot, but with our personalities and our flawed personalities, I should say, it's never enough. We should have done more. Mm-hmm. But it's been a year, so we're still fresh, new, even though we've been in the industry for a long time, which is good to bring that experience into this new company. But I think it's been awesome. I think we've done a lot, and everyone's learned, and everyone's gotten better, and we keep doing that every single day.
Right.
In the commercial real estate industry, right? Or any business, we're still, two young immigrants that came to live the American dream, essentially, right? So we still pick up our phones. We still ourselves put in 12, 14-hour days. And, without bragging too much or getting too, our heads so big, but with our experience and our track records, we do whatever it takes to get things done. That's kind of what I would say in that sense of why work with us, why we're different, why we're there. I mean, it's our hunger, right? Still hasn't gone away. We're still as hungry as ever to get things done, to get more successful, to get more deals done, to get whatever else done. That's, this industry is very old, right? The average, it's a 60-some-year-old male. Not to bring that into it, but that's NAR statistics or whatever. And a lot of these guys just don't have the drive anymore.
Right.
So it's the work ethic and the drive to get things done.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree with that. But also I want to add on to is, we're here, we're in it to win it. And we don't want to give up, and we never give up. And also is we always find solutions, right? And just the network that we've built within a short amount of time, but collectively as a company, that's what's going to help us continue to move forwards. Is that I might not have the answers, but I know people in my private network does, and therefore that's going to continue to flourish with new investors, new partners, new clients. Is that whatever pull your network have, my network's also very different. Right. So the goal is to be collaborative and basically get things done, and also if your dreams come true, our dreams come true.
I mean, technically it's been the 4th year together, 5th maybe, but as a first year of Wyn Group, I would say we've done way more than we anticipated.
Yeah. Especially you, Winnie. You've done a lot.
You've done a lot, Winnie.
She's put up with a lot, and she's done a lot.
Yep, but I think where we are now, we've achieved a lot, and I'm glad that we're hard on ourselves because we know what we can achieve in the future. So yeah, I'm really proud of us, and I'm proud of the team we've built, and I'm proud of the guidance we have from from just Stas and Marshall. So definitely happy to be a part of that, and I know the future is bright for every one of us.
Yeah, super proud, super grateful.
This wraps up episode 12. 1 year, 12 episodes.
That's true.
Next year, we need to do 24 episodes.
Yeah.
Now that we got this down.
There
What do you
you
think,
go.
Winnie? When he's laughing. Oh, Winnie doesn't like that.
We have Daryl.
Winnie doesn't like that.
Daryl's going to help. Also, we're in the process of hiring right now superstars. So, so if you're interested in being a part of our team, let us know. Peace.